Empire State Plaza, Albany, New York. Let's tour this plaza. I've had decades to develop opinions about all of it. 98 acres of Rockefeller's architectural ambition. Completed in 1978, after years of construction, displacement of neighborhoods, and enough concrete to make a brutalist architect weep with joy. The plaza itself, all these open spaces reflecting pools, sculptures like myself scattered around like modern art breadcrumbs leading you toward more government buildings. The old state capitol building stands at one end. We'll see that properly soon. But first, up. Rockefeller wanted height, wanted a skyline, wanted Albany to feel like it mattered on a scale beyond just state government. Nothing says mattering quite like a 42-story tower named after a corporate executive. The Corning Tower, named for Erastus Corning, longtime Albany mayor, 42 stories, tallest building in New York State outside New York City. Humans move through here quickly, mostly. State employees on lunch breaks, tourists trying to figure out what exactly they're looking at. Occasionally, someone stops to actually read my placard and goes, "Wait, it's made of bumpers." I'm a horse. Well, I'm bumpers. Automobile bumpers, welded and shaped into the form of a horse, standing eternally mid-stride in the middle of a government plaza because Governor Nelson Rockefeller saw my creator's work at the Museum of Modern Art and thought, yes, this is exactly what a state capitol complex needs. Jason Seley made me. Welded chrome bumpers, actual automobile parts, salvaged and reassembled into the shape of a horse, based on the Colleoni equestrian sculpture, that famous Renaissance bronze in Venice. Colleoni II. The sequel nobody asked for, standing here in Albany, made entirely of Detroit's discarded chrome. I am technically modern art, a reinterpretation of an antiquated format. I'm also technically someone's old Buick bumper. Both things are true simultaneously. I can't actually go up there, obviously. I'm chrome bumpers welded into a horse shape. I don't do elevators. But I know what's up there because I've watched thousands of visitors go up and come down, still talking about the view. From the observation deck, you can apparently see the entire Hudson Valley, the Catskills to the south, the Adirondacks to the north on clear days, Albany spread out below like an architectural model of itself. There's something about height that changes perspective, literally and metaphorically. From up there, this whole plaza I'm standing in probably looks like a reasonable, cohesive design instead of what it actually is. One governor's mid-century vision imposed on a much older city. They can see the state capitol from up there, too. That ornate, Romanesque revival building with the elaborate roofline, standing in contrast to all this modernist concrete surrounding it. Old Albany and New Albany, visible simultaneously from 42 stories up. The 1899 Capitol and the 1978 Plaza arguing quietly about what government buildings should look like. I side with the old one personally. At least it doesn't apologize for having decoration. There it is, the New York State Capitol. Oh, interesting. Trailers, production trailers, right there on the street. HBO, apparently. Filming something called the Gilded Age inside the actual Capitol building. Using this real, functioning seat of state government as a filming location for a period drama about wealthy 1880s New Yorkers. Which is almost too perfect. A building constructed during the actual Gilded Age, now serving as backdrop for a television show about the Gilded Age. Reality and fiction collapsing into the same ornate hallways. Nearly $25 million to build, back when that was an almost incomprehensible sum. Took over 30 years to complete, multiple architects, several complete style changes mid-construction, because apparently nobody could agree on what a Capitol building should look like. Started Renaissance revival, became more Romanesque as it progressed. The result is this magnificent architectural argument with itself, different styles layered together, somehow cohesive despite the design chaos. That great western staircase inside, we'll see it properly soon. It's called the $1 Million Staircase because of the cost. Elaborate stone carving throughout, portraits, symbols, decades of craftsman's work embedded in stone. Compare that to me. Bumpers, welded metal, mass-produced automotive parts reassembled into art. Different eras, different philosophies. That building represents Gilded Age excess, unlimited budget, unlimited ambition. Let's carve everything. I represent mid-century recycling philosophy. Let's make art from what already exists, what's already been discarded. Both valid, both very New York in our own ways. The hallways stretch on with that particular late 19th century confidence, the assumption that public buildings should overwhelm, should demonstrate the wealth and permanence of government through sheer decorative excess. Chandeliers everywhere. Crystal, brass, elaborate fixtures casting warm light across stone and marble. Someone spent enormous effort ensuring even the illumination felt luxurious. But standing here, surrounded by this much beauty, this much deliberate artistic ambition, I understand the appeal of excess. Understand why humans sometimes choose magnificence over efficiency. Even a horse made of car bumpers can appreciate craftsmanship, apparently. And here, the Great Western Staircase, the $1 Million Staircase. Started construction in 1883, and it's exactly as elaborate as that budget suggests. Observing the carved stone details. Hundreds of carved faces throughout this staircase. Historical figures, allegorical representations, even stonemasons who worked on the project supposedly carved their own portraits and the faces of people they knew into the stone as they worked. Decades of individual artistic choices embedded in permanent stone. And there, more recently added, a portrait carving of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Added to this staircase that already contains generations of carved likenesses, joining this permanent stone gallery of significant figures. I won't pretend to know what she'd think of being immortalized here, carved into limestone alongside Gilded Age industrialists and forgotten stonemasons. I'm a horse made of bumpers. I don't get to editorialize about Supreme Court justices, but I can appreciate the continuity. This staircase has been adding faces for over a century, each carving representing someone deemed significant enough for permanent stone memorial. Let's continue. There's more building to see. The Senate floor, where actual governance happens, where New York State senators debate, vote, argue, occasionally accomplish something. More elaborate decoration, obviously. This building doesn't know how to not be ornate. Carved wood, more chandeliers, individual desks arranged for however many senators currently represent New York State's various districts. There's something different about this room, though. Less pure decoration, more functional purpose. Yes, it's beautiful, but it's also where actual laws get debated, actual budget decisions get made. Actual governmental function happens beneath all this Gilded Age ornamentation. I stand outside in the plaza, watching people walk past on their way to jobs, appointments, tourism. This room is where decisions get made that affect all of that. Budget for maintaining plazas like mine, funding for tourism initiatives, the whole administrative apparatus that keeps New York State functioning. Strange to think about, all this beauty, all this careful preservation exists specifically to house the practical, often unglamorous work of state governance. Form-serving function, even when the form is this elaborate. Right now it's quiet, no debate happening. Just empty desks in a beautiful room, waiting for the next session, the next decision, the next piece of New York's ongoing governmental story. The Capitol says, let's carve our history permanently into stone, spare no expense, ensure everyone who walks through understands the weight of government. I say, let's take discarded car parts and make something unexpected. Less permanent feeling, maybe, but also honest about impermanence, about recycling, about finding beauty in what's typically discarded. Both approaches matter, probably. The elaborate preservation and the reluctant recycling. The Gilded Age excess and the mid-century minimalism. History that gets carved in stone and history that gets welded from bumpers. This plaza holds all of it simultaneously. Old Capitol and new tower, careful restoration and quiet neglect, permanent stone portraits and temporary film productions, government function and tourist spectacle. I'll stand here after this narration ends, after you leave, after the HBO crews finish filming and pack up their trailers, after the Senate finishes whatever session comes next, after tourists finish photographing chandeliers and staircases and my own bumper horse existence. Chrome doesn't rust the way you'd expect, but it does patina slightly. Ages in its own metallic way. Even repurposed car parts aren't entirely immune to time. Thank you for touring Albany's strange, magnificent, contradictory Empire State Plaza with me. I'll be here, standing, chrome and steel and unexpected artistic philosophy, being a horse, being bumpers, being both simultaneously, the same way this whole plaza manages to be several different eras of New York history all at once.